and welcome everyone. Here we present the famous trial scene of the magnificent play The Merchant of Venice, written by William Shakespeare. This scene involves the dramatic court scene in which Shylock and Antonio confront each other in person before Portia, who will determine Antonio's fate. This scene sets the grounds for righteousness, loyalty, and justice. Shylock, smitten by his prejudice, wants to ruin Antonio on the basis of the bond signed by him, which stated that in case of non-payment of the loan, Shylock would be entitled to extract 1 pound of flesh from any part of Antonio's body which pleases him. This scene involves right given in the fullest measure and malice falls into the trap laid for others. Now let us all see whether Bassanio, his wife Portia, and all the other friends of Antonio are able to save him from the treacherous clutches of the heartless villain Shylock.
What? Is Antony here?
Ready. So please, Your Grace.
I am sorry for thee. Thou art come to answer a stony adversary, an inhuman wretch incapable of pity, void and empty from any dram of mercy.
I have heard Your Grace had taken great pains to qualify his rigorous course, but since he stands obdurate and at no lawful means can carry me out of his endless reach, I do suppose my patience to his fury, and am armed to suffer with quietness of spirit the very tyranny and rage of his.
Go on, the Jew into the court.
He's ready at the door. He comes, my lord.
Shylock, the world thinks, and I think so too, that thou but lettest this fashion of thy marriage to the last hour of that. And then this thought that thou show thy mercy and remorse. How strange that is thy strange apparent cruelty. And while thou exacts the penalty, which is a pound of this poor merchant's flesh. Thou shalt not only lose the poor feature, but touch with human gentleness and love, forgive a mortality of the principal. Glancing an eye of pity on his losses that thou of late so hurried on his back. Now to pursue one merchant down and the conservation of his state. From brassy bosoms and of hearts of flint, from stubborn Turks and Tatars and trained officers of tender courtesy. We all expect a gentle answer, Jew.
I have possessed your grace of what I purpose, and by your holy Sabbath have I sworn to have the due and forfeit of my bond. If you deny it, let the danger light upon your charter and your city's freedom. You will ask me, why I rather choose to have a weight of carrion flesh than to receive 3,000 ducats. I not answer that, but say it is my humor. Is it answered? What if my house be troubled with a rat, and I am pleased to give 10,000 ducats to have it banned? What are you answered yet? Some men, they love not a gaping pig. Some, they are mad if they behold a cat. And others, when the bagpipe sings in the nose, cannot contain. For affection, mistress of passion sways it to the mood of what it likes or loathes. Now for your answer, as there is no firm reason to be rendered, why he cannot abide a gaping pig? Why he, a harmless necessary cat? Why he, a woolen bagpipe? But of force must yield to such inevitable shame as to offend, himself being offended. So can I give no reason? Nor I will not. Much more than a lodged hate and a certain loathing. I bear Antonio that I follow thus a losing suit against him. Are you answered?
This is no answer, thou unfeeling man, to excuse the current of thy cruelty.
I am not bound to please thee with my answer.
Do all men kill the things that they do not love?
Hates any man the thing he would not kill?
Every offense is not hate at first.
What would thou have a serpent sting thee twice?
I pray you, think your question with the Jew. You may as well go stand upon the beach and bid the main flood bait its usual height. You may as well use question with the wolf, that why he had made the ewe bleed for the lamb. You may as well forbid mountain pines to wag their high tops and to make no noise and they threaten with gods of heaven. You may do anything most hard, and seek to soften that, than which what's harder is your heart. Therefore, I do beseech you, make no more offers, use no further means, but with all brief and plain conveniency, let me have judgment, and do you his will.
For thy 3,000 ducats, here is 6.
If every ducat in 6,000 ducats were in 6 parts, and every part a ducat, I would not draw them. I would have my bond.
How shalt thou offer mercy when doing none?
What judgment shall I dread doing no wrong? You have among you many a purchased slave, which like your asses and your dogs and mules you use in abject and in slavish paths, because you bought them. Shall I say to you, let them be free, marry them to your heirs? Why sweat they under burdens? Let their beds be made soft as yours, and let their palates be seasoned with such viands. You will answer, the slaves are ours. So do I answer you. The pound of flesh which I demand of him is dearly bought. 'Tis mine, and I will have it. If you deny me, fie upon your law. There is no force in the decrees of Venice. I stand for judgment. Answer! Shall I have it?
Silence! Upon my power, I may dismiss the court, unless Balayo, the learned doctor whom I have sent for to determine this, come here today.
My lord, here stays without a messenger with letters from the doctor, new come from Padua. Good cheer, Antonio, what man courage yet? The Jew shall have my flesh, blood, bones and all, ere thou shalt lose for me one drop of blood.
I am a tainted feather of flock, neatest for death. The weakest of fruit drops earliest to the ground. And so let me, cannot be better employed, Bassanio, than to live still and write my epitaph.
Came you from Padua, from Balayo?
From both, my lord, Bellagio greets your grace.
Why dost thou whet thy knife so earnestly?
To cut the forfeiture from that bankrupt there.
Not on thy soul, but on thy soul has you. Thou makest thy knife keen, but no metal can. No, not the hangman's axe, bear half the keenness of thy sharpen. Can no price pierce thee?
No, none that thou hast wit enough to make.
Oh, be thou damned inexorable talk, and for thy life let justice be accused. You almost makes me waver in my faith. To hold opinion with Pythagoras, that souls of animals infuse themselves into the trunks of men. Thy courage spirit governed a wolf who hanged for human slaughter. Even from the gallows did his fell soul flee. And whilst thou layest in thy unhallowed dam, infuse itself in thee, for thy desires are wolfish, bloody, starved, and ravenous.
Till thou canst rail the seal from off my bond, thou but offends thy lungs to speak so loud. Repair thy with good youth, or it will fall to cureless ruin. I stand here for law.
This letter from Balayo doth commend a young and learned gentleman to our court. Where is he?
He attended here hard by to know your answer, whether you will admit him.
With all my heart. Some 3 or 4 of you go give him a courteous conduct to this place. Meantime, the court shall hear Balayo's letter.
Grace shall understand that at the receipt of your letter I am very sick, but in the instant that your messenger came, in loving visitation, was with me a young doctor of Rome. His name is Balthazar. I acquainted him with the cause and controversy between the Jew and Antonio the merchant. We turned over many books together. He is furnished with my opinion, which bettered with his own learning. The greatness whereof I cannot enough commend comes with him, at my importunity to fill your grace request in my stead. I beseech you, let his lack of years be no impediment to let him lack a reverend estimation, for I never knew so young a body with so old a head. I leave him to your gracious acceptance, whose trial shall better publish his commendation.
You hear the learned Balayo what he writes. And here I take it, as the doctor come. Came you forward, Balayo?
I did, my lord.
You are welcome. take your place. Are you acquainted with the defense that holds this present question in the court?
I am thoroughly informed of the cause. Which is the merchant here and which the Jew?
Antonio and Shylock both stand forth.
Is your name Shylock?
Shylock is my name.
Of a strange nature is the suit you follow. Yet, in such rule that Venetian law cannot impugn you as you do proceed. You stand within his danger, do you not?
Aye, so he says.
Do you confess the bond?
I do.
Then the Jew must be merciful.
On what compulsion must I? Tell me that.
The quality of mercy is not strange. It droppeth as the gentle rain from heaven upon the place beneath. It is twice blessed. It blesseth him that gives and him that takes. It is mightiest in the mightiest. It becomes the throned monarch better than his crown. His scepter shows the force of temporal power, the attribute to awe and majesty, wherein doth sit the dread and fear of kings. But mercy is above the scepter's sway. It is enthroned in the hearts of kings. It is an attribute to God himself. An earthly power doth then show likest gods, when mercy seasons justice. Therefore, Jew, though justice be thy plea, consider this, that in the course of justice, none of us should see salvation. We do pray for mercy, and that same prayer doth teach us all to render the deeds of mercy. I have spoke thus much to mitigate the justice of thy plea, which if thou follow, the strict court of Venice here must needs give sentence against the merchant there.
My deeds upon my head. I crave the law, the penalty and forfeit of my bond.
Is he not able to discharge the money?
Yes, here I tender it for him in the court. Yea, twice the sum. If that will not suffice, I'll be bound to pay it 10 times over, on forfeit of my hands, my head, my heart. If this will not suffice, it must appear that malice bears down truth, and I beseech you, rest once the law to your authority, to do a great right, do a little wrong, and curb this cruel devil of it.
It must not be. There is no power in Venice can alter a decree establishment. 'Twill be recorded as a precedent, and many an error by the same example will rush into the state. It cannot be.
A Daniel come to judgment. Yeah, a Daniel. Oh, wise young judge, how I do honor thee.
I pray you, let me look upon the bond.
Here it is, most reverend doctor. Here it is.
Shylock, thus thrice thy money offered thee.
An oath. An oath. I have an oath in heaven. Shall I lay perjury upon my soul? No, not for Venice.
Why, this bond is for fee. And lawfully by this the Jew may claim a pound of flesh to be by him cut off nearest the merchant's heart. Be merciful. Take thrice thy money. Bid me tear the bond.
When it is paid according to the tenor, it doth appear that you are a worthy judge. You know the law. Your exposition hath been most sound. I charge you by the law, whereof you are a well-deserving pillar. Pursue judgment. By my soul I swear, there is no power in the tongue of man to alter me. I stand here on my bond.
Most heartily I do beseech the court.
Why then, thus it is. You must prepare your bosom for his knife.
O noble judge! O excellent young man!
For the intent and purpose of the law hath full relation to the penalty, which here appeareth due upon the bond.
'Tis very true, wise and upright judge. How much more elder art thou than thy looks?
Therefore lay bare your bosom.
His breast, So says the bond, doth it not, noble judge? Nearest his heart. Those are the very words.
It is so. Are there balance here to weigh the flesh?
Ready.
Have by some certain Shylock, on your charge, to stop his wounds lest he do bleed to death.
Is it so nominated in the bond?
It is not so expressed, but what of that? 'Twere good you do so much for charity.
I cannot find it. 'Tis not in the bond.
You, merchant, have you anything to say?
But little. I'm armed and well prepared. Bassanio, fare you well. Grieve not that I have fallen to this for you. For herein, fortune shows herself more kind than her custom is. It is still her use to let the wretched man outlive his wealth, to view with hollow eye and wrinkled brow an age of poverty from which lingering penance of such misery that she cut me off. Commend me to your honorable wife. Tell her the process of Antonia's end. Say how I loved you. And when the tale is told, bid her be the judge that the Bassanio had not once a love. Repent not you that you shall lose a friend, and he repents not that he pays your debt. For if the Jew do cut but deep enough, I'll pay it instantly with all my heart.
Antonio, I am married to a wife which is as dear to me as life itself. But life itself, my wife, and all the world are not with me esteemed above thy life. I would lose all, I sacrifice them all, here to this devil to deliver you.
Your wife would give you little thanks for that, if she were by to hear you make that offer.
I have a wife whom I protest I love. I would she were in heaven, she could entreat some power to change this courage due.
It is well you offered it behind her back. The wish would make else an unquiet house.
These be the Christian husbands. I have a daughter. Would any of the stock of Barabbas had been her husband rather than a Christian? We trifle time. I pray thee pursue sentence.
And a pound of that same merchant's flesh is thine. The court awards it, the law doth gives it.
Most rightful judge.
And you must cut this flesh from off his heart. The law allows it, the court awards it.
Most learned judge. A sentence. Come, prepare.
Hurry you, there is something else. This bond doth give thee here no jot of blood. The words expressly are a pound of flesh. Take then thy bond, take thou thy forfeiture, but in the cutting it, if thou dost shed one drop of Christian blood, thy lands and goods are, by the laws of Venice, confiscate unto the state of Venice.
Oh, a bright judge, marked you, a learned judge.
Is that the law?
Thyself shall see the act. For as thou urgest justice, be assured, thou shalt have justice more than thou desirest.
Oh, learned judge, marked you, a learned judge.
I take this offer then. Pay the bond thrice and let the Christian go.
Soft, the Jew shall have all justice. Soft, no haste. He shall have nothing but the penalty.
Oh, Jew, a learned judge, a bright judge.
Therefore prepare thee to cut off the flesh. Shed thou no blood, nor take thou more, nor less, but just a pound of flesh. If thou takest more or less than just a pound, be it but so much as makes it light or heavy in the substance, or the division of the 20th part of one poor scruple, nay, if the scale do turn but in the estimation of a hair, thou diest, and all thy goods are confiscated.
Second Daniel, a Daniel Jew, now infidel. I have thee on the head.
Why doth the Jew pause? Take thy forfeiture.
Give me my principal and let me go.
He hath refused it in open court. He shall have merely justice and his bond.
O Daniel, still say I, O second Daniel. I thank thee, Jew, for teaching me that word.
Shall I not have badly my principal?
Thou shalt have nothing but the forfeiture, to be so taken at thy peril, Jew.
Why? Then the devil give him good of it. I'll stay no longer question.
Tarry, Jew. The law hath yet another hold on you. It is enacted in the laws of Venice, if it be proved against an alien, that by direct or indirect attempts he seek the life of any citizen, the party against the which he doth contrive shall seize one half of his goods. The other half comes to the privy coffer of the state, and the offender's life lies in the mercy of the Duke only, against all other voices. In which predicament I say thou stands, for as appears by manifest recording, that indirectly too, thou hast contrived against the very life of the defendant, and thou hast incurred the dangers formerly by me rehearsed. Down, therefore, and beg mercy of the Duke.
Beg that thou may have leave to hang thyself, and yet your wealth being forfeit to state, thou hast left no value of a cord. Therefore, thou must be hanged at the state's charge.
That thou shalt see the difference of a spirit, I pardon thee thy life before thou ask it. For half thy wealth it is Antonio's. The half shall come under the general sheet which Camillus may drive unto a fine.
I, for the state, not for Antonio.
Nay, take my life and all. Pardon not that. You take my house when you do take the prop that does sustain my house. You take my life when you do take the means whereby I live.
What mercy can you render him, Antonio?
O health of gratis, nothing else, for God's sake.
Please, my lord, the duke, and all the court, to quit the fine on one half of his goods. I am content, so that he will let me have the other half in use, to render it upon his death unto the gentleman that lately stole his daughter. Two things provided more, that for this favour he presently becomes a Christian, and other, that he do record a gift here in the court of all he dies possessed unto his son Lorenzo and his daughter.
He shall do this, or else I do not the pardon that I late pronounced here.
Art thou contented? What dost thou say, Jew?
I am content.
Clerk, draw deed of gift.
I pray thee, give me leave to go from hence. I am not well. Send the deed after me and I will sign it.
Get thee gone, but do it.